Good morning. I haven't made a video for a couple days because I was camping. I went to a lovely wedding of some friends, and so I today I want to share something that actually happened while we were away. Um, it was a few days of meeting new people, and that was wonderful. And thankfully there were a lot of really interesting people. For me, I've been a people watcher for my entire life, and I really like to kind of sit back and wonder about people and their lives and everything like that. And sometimes that's gotten me into a little bit of not really trouble, but I think people might think that I'm being rude because I'm quiet, but I'm really just taking it all in and really watching people and trying to figure out who they are and things like that. So it kind of made me think about first impressions because I had an experience where we went on a hike with some other people, and there was, this large family, and there was an older son or nephew with the group, and he kind of went out on his own. He was way ahead of everybody and taking pictures of this beautiful waterfall. And my first impressions were that he was quiet, shy, um, but it kind of came off as a little aloof or not rude, just quiet and away and not wanting to participate with the other people and stuff. And then there was a moment where we were coming back and we needed to climb up this little skittish hill, and he put his arm or his hand out to me to help me up, which was wonderful and great. But this was just me and my 52-year-old woman, I can do it kind of stubbornness that I didn't take his hand. It wasn't that I didn't, want his help or anything and why I wanted to do it myself. But so my first impression of him was just um, not really engaged with everybody. And then later on, um, we were all in a group together again, and Kevin went and talked to him about his photo settings because he was trying to take some pictures in the night light. And I went over and talked to his mom and his aunt and wanted to get to know them a little bit more because the groups were kind of separated for whatever reason. So I went over and talked to them, and I got to hear more about her son and what he was about. And I heard, even more about what he's trying to do in his life. And um, when he came back to like where we were standing, his mom shared that he wanted to go on this certain path. And when we asked him about it, he really brightened up and said that a long time ago he was given an idea for a new way of um, a new energy source for the world. It was like, wow, okay. Um, that's a really big statement, a big loving statement out into the world. And then he said, but we need to fix ourselves socially before we can fix the other stuff. And it was like, wow. Like that's a really deep thought for a 19-year-old to have. And it must have come from actual experience with all of our social stuff that we're dealing with. And it took me back, and it made me feel like my first impression of him was very wrong. And if I would have taken the time at the time, I would have maybe found out that he was a much deeper individual. And I'm glad that I did eventually, but it kind of made me wonder about what other people I've maybe missed out on because I just sat back with my first impression and made a judgment. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about today, is taking a really hard look at people and letting people in and knowing people, and also just having this understanding that we're all walking the planet with all of our own experiences and circumstances, and we just need to give each other a lot of grace and take the time to see what other people are about. So, anyway, I feel grateful for the lesson. I feel like next time I'm going to extend a hand rather than just do it myself. And yeah, it was kind of beautiful. So, anyway, hope you're doing great. Thanks.